Good evening. Thank you all so much for being here this afternoon. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. The City of Alamo Board of Commissioners regular meeting for the month of September, Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. at the Alamo City Hall, 420 North Tower Road, Alamo, Texas, 78516. We'll go to item A, Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Bobby, can you lead us, please? Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing for the invocation. Pastor Tuttle.
Lord Jesus, we come before you and we're so thankful that we have the freedom to meet together and plan things for the city. Please ask that you'll give supernatural guidance to our commissioners, to our mayor, and to all those who have a position of leadership. Help them to guide us according to all the social and spiritual needs of the city. And we ask that your blessing will continue on the city. The city will be prospered and will be noted as a city on the move. We ask this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Tuttle. We'll now go to item C, presentations and announcements.
Yes, Mayor, I got an announcement to make. Several months ago, I was approached by a gentleman by the name, a good friend of ours, Ricky Cantu. Ricky Cantu approached me and asked me if we could help get this initiative started with the Alamo PD. And so I put him in contact with Chief Solis, and Chief Solis and Ricky started this initiative. I'm just going to read a little something. The Alamo Police Department is launching a new initiative for our officers to better serve and be prepared to handle special situations when it comes to certain calls for service or interactions. The Alamo Police Department is asking anyone who takes care of a person with autism come to the police department and ask for Officer Jacob Garcia so they may pick up a fillable autism card. We would like those who come to pick up a card to fill it out completely and legibly and then turn it back in to Officer Garcia. Once they are submitted, the information will be tagged to the home address of the person with autism in our in-house database, so dispatch will be able to advise the officer or police personnel that there is an autistic person that resides at that address. This will be great to help so that police personnel will be prepared to correctly handle and communicate with them when dealing with an autistic loved one. Once the card is turned into Officer Garcia, he will give out our awesome autism sticker as seen in the picture that can be placed on or around your door or vehicle that will advise first responders that an occupant may have autism or special needs. Please join in our efforts to making the city of Alamo safe and great. Ricky, thank you for stepping up. Chief Solis, thank you for bringing this initiative to the city that'll help. Sometimes it's hard to talk about, but they might be embarrassed, but initiatives like this are what make this city great, and hopefully we continue to work great and doing great things with the citizens out there. Ricky, thank you.
Ricky, you want to come up?
Thank you, Mayor. Oh, yeah, right here. Thank you. Right here. Need more order me more. Why? First thing, big bought me my truck. First thing that you think? Nope. No. Why you get me? Or go make up. Sir, me go out I want to go out inside more my house. No, I want to go out body or this. Sir, no, you in. Why? Why you in? But the short. Okay, fine. Me go. Okay. And you, sir, fine. And this help this same thing. And I see a big book. We're running banco. We're running banco. And outside for the night, but I fixed it. Outside. Catono, also. I want more channel 5 or channel 4 going in by your fee. Me, no work, free time. Hey, Ricky, I need you to come. And you and G, thank you. Good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky.
Ricky.
Okay.
If you don't mind, Ricky,
Ricky.
if you don't mind, we're gonna just go around and take a photo with you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Ricky.
Yeah, he wants one with his phone. He's gonna put it on Facebook. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, Bobby, he helped me. Thank you.
So again, these stickers are available at Alamo PD. And again, we just want to thank you, Ricky, and Chief Solis for putting this together. I know I've seen that. I think that it's taken off with with a lot of other cities around the community. I think and this is just going to start of continue to work with the community. So thank you all again.
Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming today. Just want to recognize, we're going to recognize somebody today. First of all, I want to thank Sandra and Miguel at Parks and Rec for putting these, participating in these TAF state games. As you know, last year we had one of our Jay, that's his name, Jay, actually got all the way upstate nationally, right? For being Athlete of the Year at the TAF Games. And with that said, I'm glad that we're able to continue that tradition here in our great city of Alamo. We would like to recognize Angel Antonio Guerra for his accomplishments at the Games of Texas TAF Track and Field meet that was held in Brownsville this past summer. Angel became the original champion in the boys 14U division for the 110-meter hurdles and the 4x100 relay as well, runner-up to 300-meter hurdlers. These achievements qualified him to the Games of Texas TAF Track and Field State Meet, where Angel made the finals on all three of his events. He finished fifth in the 4x100 relay and doubled as a state champion in boys 14U division for both the 110 and the 300-meter hurdlers. We would like to present Angel with the City of Alamo Brownsville Male Athlete of the Year award for 2024 at the state games this summer. Mr. Guerra, congratulations.
Congratulations, buddy. Way to go. I'm gonna scoot over. Are we right in the middle?
Bring your mom over here. Miss,
Parents? Congratulations. You're welcome. Congratulations. You're welcome. Come on in, come on in. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. Good job.
Again, I want to thank all the coaches, all the assistant coaches that participated, and also the parents that made out the trip to Brownsville. I know next year the games are going to be in College Station, so it's always going to be quite a bit of ways. But you know, I think that the city of Alamo usually represents well at those games, and continue. Hopefully, we get another Male Athlete of the Year coming out of there. So, again, thank you very much, and we appreciate all the support that you guys have for our Parks and Rec program here in Alamo.
Thank you all.
And Mayor, at this time, I'd like to welcome our new summer TAF track coach. Coach Ernesto Cáceres has been teaching for 18 years and is currently the PSJ Memorial Boys head cross country and the boys head track coach. So if Mr. Ernesto Cáceres can please stand up, please approach.
How you doing, Coach?
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it, Mayor, Commissioners, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I'd like to thank Ms. Sandra Garza also for coming up to me. I've been coaching for 18 years, head track coach, head cross-country coach, football coach, all that. And I don't think that I've met any group of kids that love the sport of track like the Alamo Track Club does. And a lot of people do. There's clubs out there, running clubs that are special for that. Well, the great thing is I am also certified in strength conditioning, and those speed work and all that stuff comes. That's what I want to do. So we're gonna go ahead and move on forward. It's a great, because of Ms. Garza, because of the coaches that we have. It's a great program already. Keep it and then just extend it from there. And I hope, and I thank y'all for the opportunity for that. Thank you, Ms. Sandra Garza, for giving me that opportunity to make it better. Keep it up and make it, grow from there. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Chavez.
Coach, we'll take a quick photo. Hands up, baby.
Or worn my boots. So I could be taller.
We got some awesome runners on.
Yes, we do. We had a state qualifier last year. We'll get another one this year.
Thank you, Coach. Welcome.
No, I
Proceed.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Just one more announcement, Mayor. Just wanted to just get a quick shout out to our PSJ Memorial Whirlwind tennis team. Man, they're in a hot streak right now. They beat Westaco High 18-1, and then they beat Economides High School 15-4, and then they just beat Los Fresnos 14-5. So all our summer tennis team, continue the tradition that they've been going the past 2 years. So we just want to wish them all the best in team tennis and eventually district. So good job.
Anyone else? Presentations and announcements? Bobby? Ms. Anna? Everybody good? All right, we'll go to item D, consideration and action to approve the minutes for a regular meeting on August 20th, 2024.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We'll go to item E, consideration and action to approve a proclamation for the Pan American Roundtable of Alamo San Juan Far Day for September 27th of 2024. Do I need a motion or?
Motion
I
to
don't know if
approve?
you- I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to come on up, ma'am? Hi.
Good evening, Mayor Garza and City Commission and city staff. My name is Maria de Los Angeles Garcia, and I'm the part director of Alamo San Juan Table of the Pan American Round Table. Greetings, sir, and City Commission and staff. First, I'd like to commend you for the excellent job you and your staff are doing for the wonderful city of Alamo. I just heard about something you're doing for the people with disabilities, and I'm a retired special ed teacher, and I also studied that at Pan Am, and I'm very happy that we are making room for everybody, right, including people with disabilities. Thank you. Secondly, I introduce my organization, Pan American Roundtable of Alamo, San Juan, and FAR, of which I am presently table director. We are part of 17 tables in Texas and the International Alliance of the Western Hemisphere. This includes all the countries in the Western Hemisphere, plus the islands too, up all the way to Canada and South America. Our founder, Florence Griswold, who lived in Central Texas, saw the need for women to foster goodwill, peace, and understanding among our neighboring countries. Our motto is one for all and all for one. Our part of Alamo San Juan and FAR consists of women that are interested in furthering this cause. Yearly, our Alamo San Juan FAR table donates two $1,000 scholarships to deserving students in PSJA ISD. We have a humanitarian project also that we renew every year we meet for a new year, and we find ways to help the community. For this year, we had Children's Haven International. They support an orphanage, and we gladly help them. In 1949, our part came into existence, and in September 26, we will celebrate our 75th anniversary. We'd be so grateful if you could honor our organization by proclaiming this a special day, the Pan American Roundtable of Alamo San Juan FAR Day. And thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for being
So
here.
we'll be 75 years old, and I also wanted to share, well, I don't know if everybody can see it, but this was in the FAR Advanced News, and this is our scholarship recipients for this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I
Thank you
have
for
some
all you
of my
do.
members with me.
If they would like to come up, they can. We also have a proclamation on behalf of the city, so if you guys want to come up, you're more than welcome to. You guys want to take a vote prior to the proclamation?
Make motion to approve.
Priority motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, so welcome, and on behalf of the city, we have a proclamation here for you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and read that. Whereas the original founder of the Pan American Roundtable was Mrs. Florence Terry Griswold, who grew up on the border between the United States and Mexico. Becoming bilingual and aware of the need for better understanding among the peoples of the Americas. She opened her home to women and children, refugees during Mexico's turbulent political period in 1910 through 1916. While she lived in San Antonio, Texas, she organized the Pan American Roundtables in 1916. Whereas the Pan American Roundtable of Alamo, San Juan was organized in 1949 under the sponsorship of the McAllen Table, FAR was officially added into the table's name in years later. Whereas the first organized meeting of the Pan American Roundtable of Alamo, San Juan, FAR was held on September 27th of 1949 at the San Juan Methodist Church with Mrs. J.S. Rowe of Alamo serving as the director. The new table received its first set of flags of the Pan American countries as a gift from the McAllen Table and the gavel from the Reynosa Table. Whereas the Pan American Roundtable of Alamo San Juan FAR upholds the Pan American Creed, believes that through the women in the organization, a basic unity of the countries in the Western Hemisphere can achieve spiritual unity, promote friendships, apply the golden rule, and stand united to attain goodwill. Thus, Pan-Americanism becomes a reality. Whereas the purpose of the Pan American Roundtable is to acquaint all members with the language, geography, history, literature, art, culture, and customs of the countries of the Western Hemisphere. For thorough knowledge, understanding is gained, and understanding leads to friendship. Whereas on March 21st of 1958, the Pan American Roundtable of Alamo San Juan first began to promote knowledge and provide scholarships to graduating seniors from the FAR San Juan Alamo Independent School District. All scholarship monies are raised through pledges and other contributions during the year by the members. Whereas exchanges of hospitality and cooperation of the Valley Tables have fostered a spirit of unity and friendship, hosting state conventions since 1969, and continue to host the Pan American Observance Day luncheons every year with the attendance of members from the Texas Tables and the Western Hemisphere. Whereas the constant aim of the Pan American Roundtable is to promote friendship and understanding through the official, social, and personal contact with other tables throughout the countries of the Western Hemisphere, while always attempting to fulfill our motto: one for all for one, una para todos, todos para una. Now, therefore, we, J.R. Garza, Mayor of the City of Alamo, Mario Garza, Mayor of the City of San Juan, and Dr. Ambrosio Hernandez, Mayor of the City of FAR, by the virtue of our authority vested upon us, do hereby proclaim September 27th, 2024 as Pan American Roundtable of Alamo, San Juan, and FAR Day. Thank you very much. And we'll take a photo with you guys. Sign this right here.
I spent 14 years here in Alamo.
Oh, yeah, right? At Ben Franklin, right?
Ben Franklin, yes.
Yeah.
Really, one of your students.
Hi, how you doing? Hi, how are you? Good to see you. All right, guys, so, here, let me just squeeze in. Yeah, it's okay. So you guys wanna hold it here? Okay, thank you. We'll go to item F, consideration and action to approve the interlocal agreement renewal between the City of Alamo and the City of Wesco for animal control operations and impoundment services.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, this is an annual agreement that we do with the City of Wesco for the animal control operations and impoundment services. Simply a renewal, there is no price changes or anything, so we're recommending approval of this interlocal.
How often have you seen them change, bro? The number?
They changed last year.
They did change
That
last
was the
year?
first time in, I think this is our fourth year that we do it, our third or fourth year, but they did change last year.
They did change.
Bobby,
Yes, sir.
does City of Wesco offer any kind of services like a spade and neuter day or something that there's funding out there? Because I know I get calls about, about controlling animal control here in Alamo, right?
Mhm.
And unfortunately, we don't do that type of service. But is there like any organization out there that the city can maybe pair up to have a day like that here in Alamo, so that given an opportunity, let's say if you have a resident that would want to come and spay and neuter their dog or cat?
I would have to look into that, sir. If it's something that is available through the City of Wesco, or if there is a company that can do that, we can definitely get to work on doing that for our citizens.
All right, thanks.
I think it's a great idea also for like the rabies vaccinations and those types of things, right? So
Mhm.
anything like that will help the community.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item G, consideration and action to approve a resolution to authorize the city manager to submit an application to the Texas Water Development Board for financial assistance for planning, design, and construction of improvements at the City of Alamo Water Treatment Plant.
Yes, Mayor, City Commission, the City of Alamo is in the process of rehabbing our water plant. This resolution is something that would be required in order for us to submit the application. So we wanted to make sure we brought it before you for approval so that we can submit the application and potentially have financial assistance through the Texas Water Development Board.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item H, consideration and possible action on a proposal to remove and replace the weathered carpet and install new carpet, tile flooring at Sergeant Fernando de la Rosa Memorial Library.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners.
Good evening.
This proposal requests the removal of the weathered carpet and be replaced with new carpet tile, to include 4-inch cold base, moving of office furniture, removal and disposing of existing floor materials, and moving of bookshelves. 3 firms were contacted. Staff recommends approval to Royal Carpets and Flooring LLC.
I think, we had, I think the mayor, somebody had asked the last time about, being able to, if we have a certain area to patch, that we'll be able to, just go and cut out a certain area, because I think there's an issue with this carpet right now, right?
Yes,
That you'd have to remove basically everything, and now with this one, with this new one, we'll be able to patch if we need to, if something happens to a certain area.
That is correct. We're looking into tile carpet.
Okay. Oh,
But this will replace everything, right?
Yes.
Okay, great, yeah.
motion to approve?
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to item I, discussion and possible action on an ordinance to amend Title VII, Public Ways and Property, Chapter 6, City Parks, Section 7-6-1, usage rates to establish under or adjust the city's fees, rates for baseball field use and concession stand usage.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, on August 6th, there was a approval of the rate adjustments. This is simply the ordinance to put these into effect.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item J, consideration and action regarding a contract renewal with Vida for training and skills development for Alamo residents. This is a request for the fiscal year of 2024, 2025.
I guess we have Miss Amanda Rodriguez with Vida.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening, Mayor and City Commission. My name is Amanda Rodriguez, and I currently serve as Director of Development and Communications for Vida. Firstly, I'd like to thank the City of Alamo for its continued support and education in our organization. For nearly 30 years, Vida has provided students with the necessary resources and tools for education success. Our career counselors provide academic guidance and individualized counseling to help students overcome the barriers and challenges such as financial struggles, family responsibilities, life stressors, and time management. Vida counselors also work closely with students on soft skills training, including resume building, employment interview preparation, financial planning, and effective studying skills. These wraparound services equip our students with the knowledge, skills, support, and commitment necessary for both academic and workforce success. With their contribution, Vida is able to provide students with financial assistance for tuition, textbooks, childcare, uniforms, transportation, and tools for their chosen field of study. Inside your packet, you will see a one-pager report. As of June 20th of this year, the average salary reported of Alamo City graduates from the Vida program is $50,606. Last year, we partnered with UTRGV in developing an economic impact study, which reported that for every dollar invested into our model, you receive a return on investment of $15.69. Your contribution is not a handout. It is an investment in human capital to ensure that Alamo has the skilled workforce necessary for tomorrow's industry needs. Our benchmark for this year was to serve 3 participants. However, to date, we have greatly surpassed this benchmark, serving 12 participants, which we have made possible by leveraging additional grants and resources. I believe that our success and value is measured by our students' accomplishments. Partnerships such as the one between Vida and the City of Alamo are so important in changing these students' lives. In our grant proposal for the upcoming fiscal year, we'd like to respectfully request consideration for renewal of our existing contract award in the amount of $12,500 to serve at least 3 Alamo residents to pursue a training program in a high-demand occupation. Thank you again for the continued support, and we hope that we can keep working as community partners towards higher education attainment, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Do we have any participants here present for the meeting?
Not today, unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Do y'all have quite a bit here from the City of Alamo?
Yes.
Yeah?
So, as mentioned, we serve 12. So the way that we make sure that they're residents of Alamo, we require for them to show us a utility bill, and that's part of the requirements.
Great.
So where do they contact to get, like, let's say if someone wants some information about Vida?
So our office, we have social media platforms, our website, all the information's there for the application. We're doing more initiatives as far as building more social media campaigns and televising commercials.
Bobby, can we make sure we put this on the city website so that we can let the City of Alamo know that there's opportunities out there for higher education and to improve the life of, yourself, so.
Yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll now go to item K, consideration and action to replace a water well pump at the City of Alamo water plant. Mr. Julio.
Mayor, City Commission. Yes, this pump is one that serves out our sports complex and especially to our reservoir at the water plant. It burned out a couple of months ago, and they were barely able to get all the parts for it. So it's already working and in full service. So the cost was about $18,000 to have it replaced.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item L, consideration and action to purchase a 2022 double drum roller diesel.
This roller is a semi-used roller. Most of the use that was used by the city. I think it has like 300 hours on it. The majority, I would say 80% was used by us in the past 5-6 months that we've been paving. They gave us a real good price compared to a new one. The new one was like $80,000. They're letting us have this one for about $35,000.
Wow, that's awesome.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Julio, does that come with some warranty, even though
No, they just promised to give us, the first, maintenance on it.
Oh, okay.
We have it right now, but we're gonna take it back to them as soon as, we get the contract done, and they're gonna have it fully maintenance, and then we'll pick it up.
Awesome.
Thank you, Julio.
Motion carries. Thank you. We'll go to item M, consideration and action to approve an emergency repair on the wet well at El Gato Lift Station number 21.
This, lift station, it's a submersible lift station. So everything broke down the bottom. The force main pipes broke, causing the base to break down, the rails. And we had to have it cleaned up, everything. So it was a major repair on it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's about 16 years old, and primarily this is the first time that something major happened to that lift station, besides maintenance.
Okay.
make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Been
Thank you.
busy, Julio. Julio, looks like you've been busy.
We'll go to item N, discussion and possible action on an ordinance amending the zoning code, section 10-3-4, annex territory to establish a filing fee to administratively process voluntary annexation requests. Mr. Savala.
Yes, good afternoon, incidentally.
Good afternoon.
In regard to this particular item, Nina, if you could put Exhibit N, that'd be great. One of the things that occurs occasionally is that we do get voluntary annexation requests. We've done it in the past. Of course, we have to come here to get the ordinance adopted. And all of that work, the publication, the minutes, adjusting on the maps, everything, there's no fee at this particular point. However, there's always one of the things that I've been wanting to get a grasp on, and since there was an opportunity for me to focus in on this, I kind of went ahead and saw what other cities were doing. For example, the cities of McAllen, for the same process, if you will, they impose a $500 application fee if you want to come into our city limits. There was a process, and the majority of that cost was going to go into publication. When you have an on-site public hearing, it must be published according to law. And when we come here as well, another public hearing, it has to be published as well, besides it generating the minutes by staff. Edinburgh, they probably need to look at that fee a little bit more, but they impose a $100 fee. In our assessment of this, we took this matter, obviously, to the Zoning Commission on the 21st of August. And our proposal, which was sustained unanimously by P&Z, was to impose a $400 processing, if you will, an application fee. And just in case, should the owner or agent request that it be tabled at either hearing, then if they want to resurrect that meeting again, they would need to pay for that as well. That hardly happens, but just in case it does, we want to be prepared and not have the taxpayers have to pay for that. If the agent requested it be tabled and that request is honored, fine, as long as you know that when it comes back, give us some time to publish it appropriately, and then we can incur those costs, and then we can go ahead and have that republished. If the annexation process, for example, has commenced, but then the owner withdraws the request, then the city should retain 50% of the last filing fee. Again, those are just footnotes that hardly happens, but if they do, we want to be prepared that the city will remain whole. This is our recommendation as sustained by the PNC.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We'll go to item O, discussion and possible action to amend the zoning regulations by adding section 10-15-3, zoning verification questionnaire service fees.
Yes, sir. Thank you. There you go. Perfect. On occasion, my department and staff has requested certain services, if you will, typically by realtors or title companies, as far as the zoning confirmation of a certain property, if you will, and we'll be happy to look for that. We just need to pause what we're doing, and we'll do that for you. And the same thing happens, if you will, with these questionnaires that consultants typically out of state go ahead and want us to do the research for them, if you will, and we'll do that. But that means we need to interrupt what we're doing, and we can go ahead and get that done. In looking at just really brief, what other cities impose, San Juan, for example, the same service, they make no distinction. It's a $100 fee. You have to pay if you want either one, either the letter or for me to complete, or their staff to complete the zoning questionnaire. Commission has it a little bit more fair, I think, because if it's just zoning of Lot 6, Block 6, if you will, of Aquí Descanso subdivision, that'll take about a few minutes, but it still needs to generate some work, so I think $50 would be appropriate. The questionnaires, which sometimes are multi-pages, they have it at 200, so we're mimicking, if you will, what I perceive to be a fair fee adjustment for those services. In other words, it's shown on the screen, $50 for a brief zoning verification letter and $200 for completing a consultant's questionnaire. This was presented to the P&Z on the 21st of August, and they unanimously sustained that recommendation. This item is now before you.
Mr. Zavala, I want to commend you for bringing some of these ordinances that we were, not charging for, and we possibly, now we're moving forward with some of these. Next year, I think once we come up with our budget talks, if we can just have maybe a line item of this just to see how things have changed now that we've put these ordinances into place, so we can, as a city commission, see how much funding,
revenue?
how much revenue comes in these new ordinances. So I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Whichever other ones you can find, Mr. Zavala, that you can.
I'm looking.
We'll go to item P, discussion and possible action on an ordinance amending the zoning codes section 10-4-1A districts established to include newly named created zoning districts.
This is really a housekeeping one, if you will. As you may know, not long ago, we adopted an ordinance establishing the R2 zone, which is the multifamily residential district, if you will. There's that one, and now there's a townhouse zoning district in and of itself. As you can see, the list, literally, this is a page from our code book, 1041A, if you will. It should list all the zoning districts. These two zoning districts need to be included. R2, of course, is amended as indicated therein, multifamily district, and the townhouse, of course, not in there, so it'll be injected at that particular location. This was presented to this wasn't presented to P&Z because this is just a housekeeping matter, so staff recommends in favor of this adjustment, reconciliation.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item Q, discussion and possible action on an ordinance amending the zoning code section 10-14-5A to reconcile the outdated $25 appeals fee to the prevailing $250 filing fee.
Right, there you go, thank you. How this got, as I was looking at the codes, I stumbled across a $25 fee in this particular code, and I know it's not $25. It is $250, as I found that out in the building regulations section 9130. That's the fee that was adopted in 1995 by the city of Alamo. What didn't happen was that just in another portion of the code, as indicated by Mayor 1014-5A, it just needs to be adjusted. What I did is, of course, that's the primary intent of this particular code. What's in yellow is the verbiage that will remain. What has strike-throughs are some verbiage that may be outdated, a little bit confusing and redundant. So what's in yellow is simplified to the intent of, this is, if you want to file for a variance, this is the fee and this is the process.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Zavala. Didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. It makes the meeting go faster.
We go to item R, discussion and possible action to amend the subdivision regulation section 11-2-4 C1 to update filing fees for subdivision and re-subdivision plats.
Yes, how this came about was that somebody actually filed a re-subdivision plat. And I know that the code in the section of the statute 212.015 indicates that for certain plats, it requires public hearings. Required public hearings, you need to publish and send notices well pursuant to the prevailing legislation. So I asked staff, what is the re-subdivision fee for plats? We don't have any. I said, okay, In other words, we ate that cost on this last re-subdivision. So one of the things that I wanted to do was shut that window down. If you want to replat that is consistent to applying this section 212.015, then you need to pay, because if there's a publication, and there's usually two for P&Z and then one for City Commission, plus notices that need to be sent and the service that it entails and the postage and all that. So since I was there already, I went ahead and looked, well, what about our regular subdivisions? So what you see before you is actually what other cities impose. Alamo's on top with a formula, if you will. Edinburgh's at 450, Mercedes at 300, Mission's 250 for the first 5 acres, 300 for any subdivision over 5 acres, and so forth, if you will. So in assessing this, we presented this to the Planning and Zoning Commission on the 21st of August, and what was the recommendation on regular plats was, let's go ahead and make the adjustment to $400 on the plats of 5 acres or less. But if it's 5 acres or more, then of course, the bigger, the more the assessment, then they will impose $400 plus $25 for any acre after that. So the bigger the plat, then the more you pay, which seems logical. As far as the replats, we kind of thought $400 plat filing fee would suffice with regard to the publications and everything else that I cited earlier. There's the mail-out radius of 50 people or more property owners, which is rare, but just in case we go there, then it should be really $450. Since it is a public hearing, I wanted to be sure that, we're going to hold a hearing, and at the hearing at P&Z, if they sense that, what can we table, and the P&Z honors we table, okay, which means I need to republish again for that hearing. Well, that's fine, but you have to pay $200 because you're the one that's requesting, and it was honored in that regard. I just want to be sure that we're, again, not left holding the bag, if you will, that we are whole. This matter was presented to the P&Z on the 21st of August, and they sustained this recommendation.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item S, discussion and possible action on an ordinance amending the zoning codes, section 10-13-1 and section 10-15-1 to upgrade the filing fees for conditional use permit and rezoning administrative publication processing.
Right, there's two components to this particular ordinance. One is for the conditional use permit process. Somebody wants to sell alcohol for on-site consumption, for example. If that's allowed, that's a CUP. On a rezoning, it changes the color from residential to commercial or vice versa. So with regard to the conditional use permit process, you can see the fees really on the left-hand side of the particular exhibit. Alamo right now is at $250. It's been there for a number of years. And other cities as well, Donna charges $400, others San Juan $300. And we kind of felt that $300 would be fair on the CUP process. Of course, if it's a public hearing, then we would just have them pay $150 to reactivate that fee and redo it all over again. On the rezoning, which is, you can see the list of cities and some of their fees on the right-hand side of the particular sheet, if you will. Alamo's at $250, which we've had for quite some time. Mission's at $500, McAllen's at $500, Edinburgh's at $400. So after assessing all of that, really what it entails and the costs of going up, we kind of thought $400 would be fine up to 5 acres. However, if it's a bigger tract, that means more notices, more people that will be calling in, and we would need to address as well. So we kind of thought that it's $500 if the tract is over 5 acres. And once again, if the applicant or agent desires to put it on the table and that request is honored, having to do it all over again, and rezoning requires publication, then they would need to pay $250 to offset that particular cost to reactivate that process. This was taken to the P&Z, they assessed it, and they unanimously support and sustain this recommendation.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We'll go to item T, discussion and possible action on an ordinance amending section 9-1-3 of the Building Regulations Code to establish a filing fee for the city to administratively process and monitor requests for building permits prior to the plat recordation.
Right. As you know, we've seen several of these. Actually, the next item is exactly one of those as well. We did it for Stripes, McDonald's, Taco Bell, and I lost track. Anyway, several times. And that's okay. We want to be part of that process. However, taking a couple of steps back, it does require additional service, additional fees, especially monitoring, because I cannot final a building until I make sure that the subdivision is in order. So we're constantly looking at both processes, making sure that they move forward. Thankfully, it's worked so far, but there may come a time where the building's ready, but the subdivision process has been recorded. So, you know, if we've alerted you many times, this is what's lacking, I need it. And so we're always pushing. That process and a measure of stress, if you will, does impose staff to making sure that both processes go along and are completed according to the wishes of the city commission. So after all that is said and done, there should be a fee for this additional process, because the normal process is this: you do your subdivision, you record it, the infrastructure's there, then you get a permit. Well, I want to go to the head of the line, right? Okay, and we can accommodate, but it's going to take additional work for us. So we kind of recommended that the fee should be $250 if you want to go in that direction, and so that can pay us a measure of to offset some of the services that we will be providing. This was presented to P&Z, and they agreed that that would be a fair cost as well. They tendered a unanimous recommendation on 8/21/24.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Can I just say something on this? one?
Absolutely.
So I get it, like when people come in, pay for inspections and for permits or whatever, right?
Right.
I mean, I understand the normal that our business practice is 5 to 10 or 5 to 12 days, but why is it so long? Like, why isn't it, can't we, like, if we know that somebody paid for a permit, why can't we get on it the next day?
If they pay for the permit's ready. I think what you may mean is that when they submit the application, why does it take on paper 10 days to review? One of the basic answers for that is because it's incomplete. We've seen that. I saw one just last week, nice and fine, foundation, electrical. Where's the site plan? And these are professional, contractors. You must have overlooked it, but I can't see it. So, we send it right back. Thankfully, Suley in the front office, she calls them like that day, like almost within the hour, and they email it. I got it back later on this afternoon. Everything's in order, signed off on it. I think it had the next day's approval from planning. Of course, as you know, we don't have a building inspector this time, but they need to be reviewed as well. And sometimes, especially apartments, they need to be reviewed by the fire marshal as well. So that takes a little bit longer, but we're going to be sure that it's obviously safe.
Yeah, I mean, since we're doing these rates, right? I would just want to make sure that we're offering that service, that that we're trying to expedite it for them, and not taking the whole time. I mean, if it's something that can be done in 2-3 days instead of the 10 or 12 or whatever, I just want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to expedite their requests.
Of course,
Yeah.
I can let you know that it depends on the type of application. Obviously, the larger the facility, the commercial, industrial facility, the longer it'll take. But for the basic fence, porch, patio, things of that sort, that thing is issued out within 24 hours, probably within the same day. I get in the morning, it's issued out in the afternoon. It's ready to go. So I understand we will try to be cognizant of that, but that's our policy. If it's an easy one, we sign off on it right away. It comes to my office.
Thank you, Mr. Vela.
Got it.
Thank you. We'll go to item U, request by Colbar LLC to have the Board of Commissioners authorize the City Manager's Office to issue a building permit prior to subdivision recordation on acreage out of Lot 6, Block 32, Alamo Land and Sugar Company subdivision.
Yes, and in regard, there you go. Thank you for putting the aerial. It's on the exhibit there. Attached, you'll find a signed request from Colcar, dated August 28, 2024, to have the commissioners consider authorizing the CM to issue the building permit. The site, of course, was part of Mr. Hess's property, as you can see on the aerial. As cited in the correspondence, the HIS Cold Cart conveyance was transacted in the fall, and that's important, the fall of 2023, with a plat filed in October 2023. In October 24, of course, there we amended the code, the commercial corridor code, indicating there's a dollar type of store, car washes, mobile food cart, courts, things of that nature. They're forbidden from being on these major streets, if you will. They can be elsewhere, but not the majors. This ordinance, of course, was effective in January 2024. With an abundance of caution, we just wanted to be transparent and upfront. Planning conferred with management and others where it was agreed that the HES to cold cart transaction and the plat was activated well before January 2024. As the board may recall, similar requests were approved for the 7-Eleven stores, as your border town, McDonald's, Taco Bell as well. Of course, the order that we approved in January 2024, we can't retroactively enforce backward, if you will. So since the process instigated before that time, the staff really has no objection, subject to the plat meeting all subdivision codes, and no occupancy until there is a recorded plat. The sign is now before you.
Mr. Zavala, as the city grows, so does the burden of due diligence on the planning and zoning department. I just want to say thank you for reviewing everything. I know that it's the city is growing and you're getting a lot of phone calls, and it's a good thing. It's a good problem to have, but we do appreciate you. And that's more of a comment I just wanted to add to this Dollar Tree coming into the city of Alamo. I just wanted to say thank you.
Okay, that sounded like a motion, but I don't know.
I motion to approve.
Second, but before the, just a question, will this site plan, do they have to put anything between that and that residential neighborhood between them? Any type of fencing or?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That
okay.
is absolutely correct. I believe that code was amended and several times upgraded in August of last year.
Okay, just want to make sure that we're, but I second that motion.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zavala.
Thank you, Mr. Rolo.
We'll now go to citizen participation with 5 minutes per person with no response from the city commission. Residents must sign up prior to the city meeting. We have no one that signed up today. We'll now go to adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.